It's that time of the year again when Samsung shows off and unpacks its latest high-end devices for the world to see. Last year, we've seen the foldables Galaxy Z Flip3 that Vikka even got to review, as well as the Galaxy Z Fold3. This time, we have the successors to these devices, the Galaxy Z Flip4 and the Galaxy Z Fold4. We have been invited by Samsung Philippines for an exclusive early experience with these new phones, as well as its other wearable devices, namely the new Galaxy Watch 5, Galaxy Watch 5 Pro, and Galaxy Buds 2 Pro. But for this video, we'll be concentrating more on the two folding phones. Hey guys, Kevin here, you're with the Modern Creatures, and welcome to another video. This is our first look at the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4 and the Galaxy Z Fold 4. First up is the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4. So what has changed in terms of design? Well, it certainly looks almost the same. You have the same 6.7-inch main screen with Full HD Plus resolution, and you also get the same 1.9-inch cover screen for easy previews and accomplishing simple tasks. But Samsung says it now comes with a newly designed hinge, which shaves off just a little bit from its width and height. Generally not too noticeable at first, if you ask me. And yes, there is still a gap between the two displays when closed. The device is still IPX8 certified, so you don't have to worry about accidental spills, rain, or even submerging it underwater. One subtle change is the texture of its body. I feel it's now closer to a matte finish and even has a surface that's not as smooth as the previous model. It's a welcome update for me personally, as it's easier and nicer to hold. Oh, in terms of colors, there's a new Bora Purple which looks similar to the lavender option of the Flip 3. This adds to graphite, pink gold, and blue colorways. So where did the upgrades go? Well, you'll see a lot of them in the internals. The Galaxy Z Flip 4 now comes with Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 platform, unlike the Snapdragon 888 on the Z Flip 3. Storage options start at 128GB all the way to 512GB with 8GB of RAM. The phone runs on Samsung's One UI 4.1.1 based on Android 12 with additional functions for its cover screen. As mentioned earlier, you can do simple tasks like make calls and receive texts, check the weather, and more. Cameras have also been improved in a way that while it still carries dual 12-megapixel wide and ultra-wide shooters, the Flip 4 now has a larger sensor for its main camera to better capture low-light images. Of course, we're gonna have to do an in-depth review as well as a comparison to really back this claim up. But the 10-megapixel front-facing camera is still here for your selfies. Additionally, Samsung says it was able to move things around inside and was able to fit a bigger 3700 mAh battery compared to the previous 3400 mAh capacity. This should help lengthen its life since the Z Flip 3 didn't really last that long during a review. The new Flip 4 should also top up quicker since it now comes with faster charging from 15 watts to 25 watts and promises 50% of charge in just 30 minutes of plugging the device. But those are pretty much it when it comes to updates. They're more of a refinement of last year's model than an update if you ask me. And this might exactly be the direction Samsung wanted, since the Galaxy Z Flip 3 really appealed to a lot of people due to its clamshell form factor. The Galaxy Z Flip 4 will have a starting price of 58,990 pesos for the 128GB variant, 62,990 pesos for the 256 variant, and 69,990 pesos for the online exclusive 512GB model. Now we head over to the Galaxy Z Fold 4 and again begin with its design. Just like the Flip 4, you wouldn't really be able to notice physical differences right away when compared to the previous Z Fold 3, especially if you don't have both devices on hand. But a quick look at its specs reveals that the Z Fold 4 is now lighter by just a smidge and is more compact as well. Now, while those may sound like small improvements, they could make long-term use better for their users. But then again, only a full review can prove that. And since we're still on design, Samsung says the outer cover display now has slimmer bezels, so you see a lot more when you use it as a preview for your camera, for example. It did feel maximized though and didn't feel limiting. Reinforcing the device is now a tougher Gorilla Glass Victus Plus compared to last year's Gorilla Glass Victus on the Fold 3. The outer display does get smudgy, so a little wipe would be needed, but the rest of its body effectively repels fingerprints. In terms of screen size, it still kept its 7.6-inch display for the inside and 6.2 inches outside. The company says aspect ratio has been tweaked to be able to maximize productivity and ease of use. It's now supposedly a little shorter but wider. And just like before, its 120Hz refresh rate should make for smoother browsing and gaming. With the device open, and if you look closely, its 4-megapixel under-display camera now packs more pixels, so it's harder to see the module when watching or browsing on the phone. And speaking of trying to conceal things, Samsung says they focused on making the crease in the middle less visible, and I would say that it does kind of disappear under certain lighting conditions. Just like before, there are a number of different phone cases available for both the foldables, and some of the Fold4 cases even include a space where you can tuck in the compatible S Pen. Now we go to its main cameras. Coming from the previous 12-megapixel main sensor, the new Fold4 now carries a 50-megapixel shooter with brighter pixels, while its 10-megapixel telephoto camera carries 3 times optical zoom compared to 2 times optical zoom of its predecessor. A 12-megapixel ultra-wide sensor is still here but should capture better shots compared to before, according to Samsung. I've tried a couple of shots indoors and details look sharp with natural colors. And with our initial tests, using its zoom lens yielded decent results even with its 30 times zoom and has so far kept details intact. In terms of video recording, it can shoot a maximum resolution of 8K at 24 FPS and comes with video stabilization to keep your footage smooth. Of course, there are other shooting modes like Pro Photo and Pro Video, Slow-Mo and Super Slow-Mo, Hyperlapse, and even Director Mode that we've come familiar with on the Galaxy S22 Ultra. When closed, selfies are taken with a familiar 10-megapixel sensor on the cover display, and Samsung's hand gesture recognition still works seamlessly. Moving on, just like the Z Flip4, the Z Fold4 now carries a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 CPU, which is an upgrade from the previous Snapdragon 888. Memory is at 12GB across different models, but storage space now range from 256GB up to 1TB in select markets. It also runs on Samsung's One UI 4.1.1 based on Android 12, and it also promotes multitasking by efficiently using the screen's real estate. Over at the battery department, things remain pretty much the same, with its 4400 mAh battery with fast charging that also promises up to 50% charge in 30 minutes. Overall, I like the feel of the phone in my hand, and the action of opening and closing the device also felt natural. In the Philippines, the Galaxy Z Fold4 will be priced at 98,990 pesos and 105,990 pesos for the 256GB and 512GB variants respectively, and 119,990 pesos for the 1TB Samsung.com exclusive. So what can you say about these two new foldables from Samsung? Did you want to see more from them, or are you already satisfied with the current refinements and improvements? We'd love to know. And that's about it for our first look at the Galaxy Z Flip4 and Galaxy Z Fold4. As always, please visit our website and follow us on our social media pages for more news, features, and reviews. Once again, that's it for me. I'm Kevin. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.